Here's the handsome lads. Look at you, Eddie. You look great.
I don't know why I keep looking at your screen to like try to read shit. I really can't see anything.
I can barely see how far away too. I think we just need to wait 5 minutes for some more people to come back in, then we'll do it. I know it probably still sounds low, but we gotta get moving. Maybe I'll re-edit it over, kind of like I did the first time. Bring it back. Hello. Yeah.
What were you looking at when you said bring it back? Hello. Like, were you checking levels on something?
I was.
Okay.
I was looking at this.
Oh, okay.
Hello. See the green thing there?
Gotcha.
I gotta watch more streams to see how these pros do it. Do they like stand there for a minute to let some people get in?
I think they have like, because I've watched like gamers,
Right.
you know, like about to go live or something,
Right.
and they just have an art card
All right.
and like some
I need to
music
look into
playing.
that. I bet you there's a program
Probably.
that we could just
There's
run.
gotta be.
Because I was streaming video games for a minute, and there's programs.
Yeah.
So I bet that's what I need to do. All right, guys, we're gonna get rolling here. All right. Oh, come on, you fucking thing. Okay, good. 278. All right. Pulling up my notes. You ready, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take one more drink here. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. I'm looking at the camera.
And thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Save It for the Show with Dan and Eddie. This is episode 278 of your favorite comedy podcast, where every week Eddie and I sit down, we make each other laugh, we make you laugh. Eddie, I feel like a baby again.
Yeah.
I feel like I
definitely.
did when we first started the podcast 5 years ago, and I didn't know how to use a mic. I didn't know how to do a thing.
Yeah.
With this video situation, I'm back being a caveman a little bit.
Yeah, I actually like felt a little weird when we just jumped into like the intro of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been talking for like 10 minutes, you know, with some of the people watching live right now.
Right. Which is fun.
Yeah.
Which is fun. However, so the audio is great, but yeah, it's a work in progress. So
Yeah.
go to our YouTube channel, savefortheshow.com. I'll also throw an embed of this talk and podcast on there
Nice.
for you to enjoy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great
We're
to
here.
hear.
We spent a lot of time together.
We did, yes.
Over the weekend. You know, Eddie and I, as a rule of the show, save it for the show. We don't talk. We don't text. Like, we have kind of a weird relationship.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Like, if we didn't do the podcast, I feel like you and I would text a lot more.
Yeah.
We would share jokes. We would just say, yo, what's up? How's it going? But we get a 1 hour a week bro time, which really, I think, fills up both of our cups.
Yeah, totally.
And we're good. Also, what am I going to text you about? Hey, you'll never guess what happened to me. I wait to see you once a week.
Yeah.
And then I blurt it out to you.
And it's better that way.
It's great. And then you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Only to see you again the next week. But however, over the weekend, saw you a bunch. Birthday parties.
Yes.
And what have you, including your lovely daughter,
Yes.
Marlo. We
My
went
youngest.
to her birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Fuck yes.
Chuck E. Cheese. And of the best dad joke you can make about Chuck E. Cheese is you say something like, well, where's Charles Cheese? You know, Charles Cheese would be a restaurant for adults.
Is that the go-to joke?
That's
for
the
Chuck E.
go-to
Cheese?
dad joke.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, Chuck Charles, got it. Okay, got it. Thanks. Hilarious, Dad.
It's actually Chuck E. Cheese's.
Oh,
Yeah.
apostrophe S?
Apostrophe S.
Go on.
I always thought it was Chuck E. Cheese, but maybe, man, because my brother's like 16 or 17 now, so
Right.
10 years ago maybe.
Okay.
I found out like
Party there?
yeah, no, he didn't have a party there. He was
Oh.
talking about it. I was like, oh, it's Chuck E. Cheese. He's like, no, it's Chuck E. Cheese's. He's like, I go there all the time. He's like, it's Chuck E. Cheese's, you dumb motherfucker.
I just never thought of it that way.
Yeah, so
Well, my
everyone's
mind
saying
is
it
blown.
wrong. I know. You're welcome, guys.
Fine. We were at Chuck E. Cheese's, where a kid can be a kid.
Yes.
Every kiss begins with K. And we're there, and so a couple things. One, it was like a Friday afternoon, and it was pretty dead.
Yeah.
Which was incredible, because when you go to Chuck E. Cheese's and you go in there, it's a zoo.
Yeah.
And it's a cornucopia of uptight people, poor people, every color of the rainbow. It's a melting pot of fun with alcohol.
Yes.
And so we get there, we got the whole lay of the land, and of course we get a drink, because Chuck E. Cheese isn't stupid, but they're very strict.
Yes.
They are crazy strict.
It's crazy.
They will not serve you unless you give them an ID or something like that. Because think about how often maybe, I don't know, a dad leaves or a mom leaves a beer on a table, and a kid could drink that shit.
Totally.
Like, that can happen anywhere at any restaurant, but in a situation like this, there's just more opportunities for it. So, like, I went to the front, and I'm like, hey, can I get 4 beers? She's all, I need to see 4 IDs. Like, no joking, nothing. And then you even told me in Vegas, where you went, you get tokens.
Yeah.
And they make sure that you do not drink over 2 beers.
Yeah. Because I think specifically at that Chuck E. Cheese's that I went to maybe wasn't the best part of town. And they probably had people who got drunk and got in fights.
Right.
So they're like 2 drink maximum for everyone.
And it's always beer, too. And now, though, see, this is the thing. Like, you can get a Bud Light, and a big fat dad needs to drink 5 Bud Lights before he's going to start slapping his kids around.
Yeah.
But 2 IPAs, like,
yeah, you can get pretty.
It's changed the game.
Definitely.
And when we got there, we said to the girl, like, what do you have on tap? And she's like, we have Bud Light and an IPA. And we're like, well, what IPA? It's just an IPA.
Yeah.
And she didn't have a clue. So I wonder, most people probably don't order that. Not a snooty tooties who went there and got it, but it was great.
Oh, yeah.
We had a blast. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was awesome because it was like 3 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah.
So, like, barely anyone there. And we had unlimited games. That was fucking awesome.
I've never in my life felt like that.
Yeah.
Like a king.
Yeah. I was like, why is not everyone just mining for fucking tickets?
Well, because they knocked it way down. So explain what you mean by we had unlimited.
So it was my daughter's birthday, and with the package, all the kids get like a card, because all the games are on like you swipe a card now.
Right. There is no tokens.
No tokens or anything. So everyone got a like unlimited card, and you said you swiped it, and there was like $100 million.
It said the balance was like $100 million.
Yeah. So but you only get unlimited games for like 2 hours.
Right.
From the first swipe or something like that.
Right.
So we had, all the games available to us and just went crazy.
It was a blast. Yeah. It was an absolute blast. I mean, at one point, I was playing a 2-player game, and I had swiped both sides, and I had 2 guns, and I was just like, I mean, that's a dream.
Yeah.
That's a dream come true.
Totally.
For a man like me. That was the best part. You and I got our picture taken.
Yeah.
And one of those little things, and it actually was a lovely little photo.
It was, yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
Good photo.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
And so, all I can say is go. And the ticket thing is still complete bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And now you can buy a ticket for a penny. So that feeling of going, because going and playing skee ball, it's a funny lesson for a kid in like economy, budgeting, and the free market. And they also learn the harsh reality of like, I just spent $30 and got 2 Tootsie Rolls and a whiz-bang piece of shit that breaks in the car on the way home.
Yeah, exactly. A kazoo or some shit.
A fucking kazoo that your parents are like, throw that out. The kazoo lasts in the car 30 seconds before angry dad, who just crushed 15 IPAs, grabs it and maybe grabs it a little too close. Like he's a little
just
sloppy.
Kind of bumps him on the lip.
So he kind of grabs it just enough to where he's put hands on his child.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot.
Yes.
When you go to the Chuck E. Cheese. Do you remember as a kid, did you ever get anything amazing? Did you ever get something so cool from the prize place that you just kept it for months?
No, but like my cousins and I, anytime we'd go, we would like collect all our tickets and then save it and bring it back the next time. And like we had our eye on a fucking like raft, an inflatable raft that you can buy at Walmart for like $5.
Who would do that? You left with the tickets
exactly
and came back.
We had a plan, and then eventually like we kind of turned on each other and we were like, you give me my fucking tickets because I'm gonna buy what the fuck I want. Yeah, it was so
that's
funny,
like
dude.
straight from a movie.
It was hilarious. So we're like sitting there divvying it up and shit.
And now you're like holding it, and then all of a sudden one buddy, you know, you're trying to get 5,000 tickets.
Yeah.
You've got 2,000, he's got 2,000, and you just can't do it. And you go in the dead of night, buy something, and then you have to leave.
Yeah.
You have to straight up leave. We had a great time. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough to anybody. The one thing that was also crazy is the music. It was the same. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate here, but we were there for 2 hours, or probably like 2.5 hours. And the soundtrack, they're not just playing, you know, serious hits of today, because the music is corresponding to screens.
Yeah.
And the entire thing runs on a clock where every hour the songs change. They start counting down to a thing. Like they don't have a person standing there with a stopwatch and they're like manually doing it. No, this is automatic.
Yeah.
Like the show must go on. If you miss your 3:30 of Chucky coming out, you're fucked. Like you could be like an irate mom who goes crazy on the manager, and he would say, look, I got another party coming in 10 minutes. You need to get the fuck out of here. You can't wait for another hour. Leave.
Yeah.
And I bet that makes a lot of people hot under the collar too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a huge company. In fact, there are two businessmen
sitting
there.
So weird.
And right when we first got there, you know, there's kids everywhere, there's families everywhere. And then there's just like Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah.
You know, business dork on his fucking iPad. He has like iPad up with like a leather case around it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a business dad and you have one of these weathered leather cases around your iPad to sort of make it look cooler.
Prestigious, I think, is what they're going for.
Maybe prestigious.
Yeah.
If it's monogrammed, if it says your name on it or your company's name, unless it's theirs,
yeah,
you need to make a pivot. Make a Jeremy pivot right now and get a cool case or no case.
Yeah.
That's kind of the most baller move, is to have no case. Because you know what that says? I don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah.
I don't care about my $1,000 iPhone. Ha ha ha. I don't need a case. It's like, no, you idiot. Yes, you do.
Well, if you got Apple Care, man, you're good, right? You get
I guess.
replacements.
Not like that.
But you still got to pay for these replacements. They're not just free.
Don't be stupid.
But what was weird, though, is they were sitting separately.
They were.
Like in two different booths.
Yes.
And they both looked kind of pedophile-ish.
They looked super pedo-y.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to work at Chuck E. Cheese and be like a bank auditor where you're sitting around watching kids and, I don't know, counting tokens, you can't have the Friar Tuck hair. Like if you're bald in the front and the top, but you have this thick, luscious hair around the ring of your head, you got to shave it.
I call that the cul-de-sac.
It's a cul-de-sac.
When you have the cul-de-sac, yeah.
No, if you have a cul-de-sac going, shave your head.
I said the same thing, but Kristen was... We were having an argument about someone. I can't remember who now, but I was like, why doesn't he just shave his head? Like, it's not doing anything for him.
No.
He has, like, kind of an island in the middle of his cul-de-sac, like a roundabout thing. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, he would look way better, at least, like, to buzz it down.
Right.
Or something, but no. I can't remember who it was now, though.
I mean, maybe you've had a misshapen head. Maybe you think you've got a weird mole. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's way cooler.
People get used to shit so fast.
So fast.
No one's ever going to fucking notice.
You know what would be the most unbelievably baller move I can think of on earth is if Donald Trump shaved his head.
That would
or
be
like
pretty.
showed what his true situation is. I mean, that might be the most offensive thing that man does, is try to make us think this is his real hair. Or like we think that there's not some bizarro, like what's Donald Trump's hair routine like?
Oh, ridiculous.
I mean, does he sleep on it? I've never seen the man with hat hair or bed head or anything. He's just got that ridiculous helmet.
Yeah. I don't know. He's got to wear like a cap or something.
Right, like an
I mean?
old lady's cap.
Yeah.
Or like he wears a do-rag. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I wear a do-rag. That's what works for me.
So awesome.
And so he puts his do-rag on. He gets in bed. He like puts cream on his face and, you know, all sorts of stuff because he has to.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity. He needs to look good. But I would just love to know when he wakes up, does someone come running in? Like, I bet he watched The Crown. And he's like, I like The Crown. Like the way they take care of them no matter what. It's like, no, Mr. President, like this is not how that works. I need a hair fucking person here the second I wake up. And I would just to be a fly on that wall.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he tells a story about Bill Cosby, where supposedly Bill Cosby would have like the staff of the like comedy club or whatever, the theater that he's performing at, watch him eat dinner, like come into the kitchen and watch him eat dinner, and like not say anything to him. They're not allowed to talk to him.
Oh my God.
Or look him in the eyes. But they just got to watch him eat dinner. And then he would have a bodyguard tuck him in at night, like into bed.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's so crazy. But who does that is like crazy kings and, dictators and shit.
I mean, it takes some sort of crazy sociopath.
Yeah.
A complete, maybe psychopath personality to force people to watch. And now it completely makes sense why he probably did abuse all those women.
Yeah.
Because it's all based on humiliation and power. And wow. That's what we need to, that's when I'll know we've made it. When we do a live stream and say, don't you close that fucking window. You're going to watch Eddie and I eat, what's a gross? Chicken wings.
Oh,
we're just going to be grubbing on chicken wings.
You might get turned on the way I eat chicken wings.
I've seen Eddie clean it to the bone, man.
I mean, I got talents, man.
But how do we force them? I just look in the camera and I'm like, if you want to fucking press Command W right now,
if you log off,
don't you dare log off.
We're recording all of your URLs and shit.
This is a chain. We're deep right now. We're taking over your computer.
You're getting doxxed right now.
Right now, yes. Don't turn around. Okay. Donald Trump, his hair is weird. Businessman hair is weird. Pedo weirdo. And don't have a mustache.
No.
Like, have you looked on TV or in a magazine in the past 20 years? For a minute, it was funny and ironic to have a mustache. But not when you're 50.
Yeah.
That's a real situation. That's a decision you made. And some people can pull off a mustache and look cool. Very few people can. Like, you need to be on something. Like a level of style.
Yeah.
That you've earned the right to be.
I feel like you've got to be like a certain level of fit also. Like you can't just be a slob.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So these guys were not on that level.
No.
They're regional assistant to the regional general manager of Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah.
And they're the guy in a meeting when he's like, oh, this is Steve. He works for Chuck E. Cheese. It's Chuck E. Cheese's. Cheese's. Fuck, how many times do I have to tell you, Cheryl? Cheese's.
He's a mouse. It belongs to him.
Right? It's his. He earned it.
Fucking assholes.
Okay? He didn't get it handed down to you, Steven, like you did, and your dad gave you this job. Chuck E. Cheese has built this from the ground up himself. He deserves to say. The animatronic game there, though, has fallen way back.
Oh, my God. So sad, man.
But think about it. We're living in a world where our kids can see movies with robots. Maybe they go somewhere. I couldn't tell you the last dope animatronic I saw. Like, remember in Las Vegas at the Forum Shops?
Oh, yeah.
In Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
I mean, the year is 95.
Probably, right?
96 maybe.
Yeah.
And there's a young, so Eddie and I are what? 14, 13, I don't know, 12. And you go in this huge mall on the Strip, which was like the dopest mall at the time because they had stores like Abercrombie and Fitch. Have you fucking heard of Abercrombie and Fitch?
Yeah.
You pedestrian bitch. I got this from the Forum Shops. So there was this entire weird thing in Vegas because, they didn't have Abercrombie and Fitch or, I don't know, what's another? Nike Town was there. There were certain stores were there. That
FAO
were dope.
Schwartz.
FAO Schwartz.
Oh my God, that place was awesome.
So kids would go there. You would eat candy. I mean, I do feel bad for kids these days because I wonder if they still do go to the mall. And if they do go to the mall, is it cool or is it lame now? Like, what do teenagers do?
Why would it be lame now, though?
I don't know, because they can do other things or they've got their phones now. And
yeah, but they're probably still running around the mall making out with each other and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? My mom used to drop me off at the mall like on the weekends or at the Forum Shops.
Oh, yeah.
And just leave me there until my dad got off work and he'd come pick
you up?
Yeah, like me and my friends would just hang out.
Right.
And I remember going to the Forum Shops with one of my friends. And that, it's expensive.
As hell.
Yeah.
It's a touristy mall, too.
Yeah, it's on the fucking Strip
up.
at Caesar's Palace.
It's insane.
So, and we went to, like, Spago's or something for lunch.
Oh, my God.
Because there was no fast food or anything around. and spent like $30 on like a personal sized pizza. And I was like, dude, I ain't got any more money for the rest of the day, dude.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
I remember that. I did like what you did with your tickets, and I saved all my mall money until I bought a jacket one day that was like $60, a Billabong jacket, and it was the pieces. It was such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Eddie, it was so thin and garbagey, and I thought it was so cool. And my mom was like, "This is a trash bag.
Yeah,
you bought a $60 trash bag that says Billabong on it, and now you're gonna wear it every fucking day." And I wore that awful jacket to school for years.
I have a friend who had a similar story. He bought like a $60 shirt or something like that, like Nautica or Tommy Hilfiger or something.
Nautica.
And his mom comes to pick us up, and she's like, "Oh, what'd you buy?" And he shows her, and she gets so fucking pissed.
Right.
She marches him back to the store, makes him return it.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, "It's my own money, I can spend." And she's like, "I will fucking spank you in front of your friend. You're not spending $70 on a shirt."
That is a level of humiliation.
Yeah.
Like that mom should have said, "Okay, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about it when we get home."
Yeah.
And then when you get home, you just lay into that motherfucker.
No.
But in front of his friends to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he might go back to school and be called Nautica Boy for like the rest of his life.
Yeah, she was like straight from Indonesia, so she didn't give a fuck. She was like,
yeah, hardcore.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a pussy because I don't want to, humiliate my friend.
Exactly.
In front of his friends. Okay, yeah, we could walk down a Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger train here. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna pull it back.
Okay.
We're at the forum shops, and there's robots there. Yes. They have an animatronic thing. So this is what's so dope about this mall is I've been to some malls in upstate New York that were like walking in a graveyard. Half the stores are closed.
Yeah.
They're not really giving the attention to the mall that it used to get in terms of cleanliness. If a light burns out, the super's like, "Look, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, bro.
That's a $200 light bulb. Gary took a shit in the food court, and I got to get a new mop for that, and that's like $20. So it's like, well, there's no light in this corner of the mall. People are congregating here. I think people are selling drugs in this corner of the mall."
He's like, "Just don't go there,
man. I don't know what to say. Like, there was a mall like that in downtown Sac, which they knocked down, where it was scary. Like there were parts of the mall that were almost like tiny neighborhoods that you just didn't go.
Yeah.
It was just terrifying. Like, what, the cops couldn't go there one time? They just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or the cops like, this is a real high level zone. Like, we're just like, right now, I don't want to deal with this. We're like in the normal, easy level. We're going to have to gear up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a mission.
Yeah. We got to get clearance.
We need I mean, I got to do paperwork, and I got to put on my big gun and my hat and shit.
Put on my big gun.
I don't know. I got to get the long guns out, and we're not going to do that. So... Because seriously, there are parts of the city where I feel like the cops just kind of like, maybe I'm showing my ignorance for how all this works, but
yeah,
look, whatever. We're talking about the fucking mall. The mall was on the strip. It was attached to a casino, so it was super cool.
Yeah.
Just to try to paint this picture, Caesar's Palace is Greece, like that's its theme, and so everything in this mall was columns, the sky. Remember the sky?
Yeah.
And back then, this was a cool deal. The entire ceiling was one huge screen or was like lit up. And I mean, I can't even imagine back then too. Technology's changed so much. That would probably be pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
But then it was probably insane.
Oh, yeah.
Which really means too, I wonder now, they're like, dude, when these light bulbs burn out, they don't even make them anymore. And Caesar's Palace is too cheap to retrofit the entire thing.
Yeah.
So don't go in that corner, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe, look, people who live in Vegas right now, probably my sister is probably yelling at her phone right now because they probably redid the whole thing or knocked it down or who knows. Listen, that's not the point. The mall was beautiful.
Yeah.
And in the center of the mall, they had a robot. It was a statue. It was like a huge statue that you would see in Greece. It was huge. I mean, in my kid mind,
it looked like a stone statue.
Right, like like David.
Yeah.
Like Michelangelo's David. Like, it was a huge stone statue. And then every 20 minutes, the lights would go down, steam's coming out, and it's like, then boom, the fucking statue comes alive.
Yeah.
And he's yelling out, "My subjects!" And there's like a little movie plays where he's fighting a fucking dragon.
It's crazy.
There's maybe smoke and flames coming out.
Everyone's crowded around.
Oh, there's a magic store. Remember that magic store?
Yeah.
There was a dope-ass magic store. And so probably the worst job on earth was having a store right next to that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
5 times an hour you had to watch that goddamn thing. So anyways, it's amazing. That's the mall. Donald Trump. Animatronics.
Yes.
Okay, so the animatronics, To me, that was amazing. The one at Chuck E. Cheese now, I mean, it was seriously like some 200-year-old rat.
Yeah.
Just.
It didn't. It didn't even look like it was real. Like, I mean, not real in the sense like obviously Chuck E. Cheese isn't real, but it seemed like it was a joke.
Yeah, it was
is what
so
I'm
bad.
trying to say. Yeah.
It was incredibly bad. The funniest part was our our father-in-law jumped on stage with the rat.
Yeah.
And it was right when we got there though, because I think we all thought like, is he drunk? Because it was just so out of character.
Yeah.
But it was just hilarious, and it was because no one was there.
It was
Nobody
empty.
was there where our grandpa could jump on stage
Yeah.
with the rat. The guys there were weird. They're auditing it. I don't even know. We've been talking about Chuck E. Cheese for 30 minutes, for Christ's sake.
Jesus.
Maybe we should move on. I had an end to this joke, but I don't remember. Oh, the music.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Who cares? Who cares? All right. This is the Chuck E. Cheese show.
You can't get and then
Well, they played 2 songs over and over.
Yes.
That's what led us down this whole crazy path. Is they played 2 songs.
yeah.
And they were like some Bruno Mars baloney ripoff. Beach House in Miami. Like
Yeah,
it was like,
totally.
It sounded exactly like that.
It seemed
not.
like the music you play to torture prisoners.
It really did.
You know what I mean? It's
It
even
really
with the
did.
video too. Like that's just a torture film.
The whole thing was terrible.
Yeah.
And it drove my wife more than anyone crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
She kept saying, "Oh, listen to this new song.
Have you heard this song?
Have you heard this song?" And we're, "Oh, babe, it's hilarious." The first time. But then she was just so furious. She just kept saying it to quite effect. So she asked one of the people that worked there, and one of the girls said, "Oh my God, I want to kill myself." And another girl said, "Seriously, I never noticed."
Oh,
She's like, "Oh, I never really noticed."
What?
And I thought, wow, what a life that you're living.
Yeah.
Where you're so unaware. I mean, A, you work at Chuck E. Cheese, no judgment. But B, when you're there, you go to like your safe zone or your happy place. Like you're being like molested and you look away, and that's your job.
Yeah.
I get it. Like that's to her. She's like, fuck it. This isn't my career. I'm not going to be here auditing the books. No more Chuck E. Cheese. I said no more Chuck E. Cheese. What else? Oh, okay. So yeah, our father-in-law was here, and over the weekend, not to be a Vegas-centric podcast here, but Steve Wynn, who growing up in Vegas, Steve Wynn was an icon.
Yeah.
He opened the Mirage. He had all this art. He opened the Bellagio, and come to find out, he's a creep.
Yeah.
Like any sort of rich, again, sociopath who has a certain willingness to force people to watch them eat. They're so driven and so determined that other aspects of their life, they're successful at. This is broad generalization, but it seems to be happening more and more often. And, it's funny. I heard I don't know, who knows what he did. But our father-in-law told Nicole, so my wife Nicole says to me like, "Oh, did you hear what Steve Wynn made these women do?" I said, "No, I don't know." "Well, he would get a glass table, and he would lay underneath the glass table, and he would have women stand on him and shit." And I said, "Whoa, where'd you hear that?" And she's like, "From my dad. I heard that from my dad." And I thought, oh, to be a fly on the wall. I can't believe our father-in-law.
Yeah. Oh my
told her
God.
that. She said it was hilarious. And just try to think about that. I thought I knew we made it when I could force people to watch you and I eat chicken wings, unless we're on hot ones.
Yeah.
Because that would be a dream.
Yes.
However, if we have to force a woman to shit, but not on us, like, he did. He's a guy who wants to kill himself, and instead he just, I don't know, took some pills.
Isn't he blind?
Apparently he's blind too, but why not have the women shit on you? Like, I feel like that's what, he's one step away from that, actually having feces on him. But just think about that. Okay, so you're laying on the ground, a woman gets over you naked, shits on you on command, which is pretty interesting. Because what does that mean? Like, he just kind of sat around and said like, "Becky, just let me know. Like, I know you ate all those prunes or some beans or something, but I'm not going to lay under this fucking coffee table all night. Okay, Gary told me that you knew how to shit on command," and now he's screaming. The guy's worth like $3.5 billion.
Yeah.
So he can get people to shit on him, probably so on the sly, too. And then someone has to clean this up.
Yeah.
These women
I wonder if that's part of it. Like the cleanup is part of it.
He watches the maids clean it up,
or
something?
maybe he makes them clean it up.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Because how else? Unless, like a cleaning crew comes in, hoses off the table, wipes it down. It's like, "Mr. Wynn, it's ready. Your 3 o'clock is here to do this all over again."
Oh, that's so. I hope that's true, though.
Me too.
Well, I hope well,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
But he's in trouble.
I'll just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that. So that made me super laugh. And yeah, and I also heard that he likes happy endings. That's fine.
Who doesn't like happy endings?
Exactly. In movies and books.
Yeah.
But in his case, brace yourself. A happy ending can sometimes mean when a masseuse jerks you off at the end of it. And
I mean, so when you're like rich like him, does it have to be a masseuse? Like, why not just pay like a high class hooker,
right,
to jerk you off or even have sex with you? Like,
right, because
why
it's not
go
as thrilling. You know why? Because I think a prostitute not wants to be there, but there's at least the notion money's transacting. This is your job. I think there's more of a humiliation factor of forcing a masseuse lady who really doesn't want to do this. Like, she does not want to be jerking guys off.
Yeah.
It's probably it's so terrible that she has to do this.
Or she's just like that Chuck E. Cheese bitch and just zones out. And
Maybe.
tugging dudes off, man.
Maybe. But even that is terrible. My point is, I think that's probably more of a thrill for them. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We got to start with making people eat. Forcing people to watch us eat.
Yeah, not making them eat.
Well, not making them eat. And that's it. Fine. You know what else we did? So we did hang out a lot over the weekend. And I was going to make this my real treat, but it's not really it. But you know what? Shit. Whatever. I'll just talk about it. Somebody sent in a great real treat about drinking games. And this would have gone really good with that.
Okay. Save it, man.
All right. I'm going to save it.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it. You know, let's do some questions.
Let's do it.
And then we'll get out of here.
How's everyone doing in the chat?
Yeah, let's see. Okay. There's not very many people in here. All right. Let's now you guys should be able to hear the question. And hopefully it's not going to be like screaming loud. Forgive us if it is.
You got questions? We got answers.
We love questions on the show, and you can get us at saveitfortheshow.com/contact. You can email us at saveitfortheshow@gmail.com. There's a lot of ways, and we get voicemails too. And listen, I want to play this voicemail because I love getting voicemails so much. And this person sent it anonymously. So I can't urge you guys enough. Like, if you're going to send us a voicemail, record it on your phone using just your headset and do in voice memos, and then email it to us, saveitfortheshow@gmail.com, because for this very reason, I'm going to play a quick snippet from the Bomb Pop guy.
Okay.
And you will hear what I'm talking about. Hold on. It's going too slow. All right, here it is.
That's what that freaky is. I'm doing a little work travel this weekend. Just trying to spread the love, and we can get people down on the
See what I'm talking
trail.
about?
And I think we just talked about it. It's kind of a hard sell. Yeah, dude, check out these two guys. They talk about everyday shit.
It's not working. So what he did, and I can't email him. I don't know. So Bomb Pop guy, you got to send it through another way.
Yeah.
Because sending it through our 1-800 number or something, it just isn't working out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that down. But yeah, anyone else that wants to send it to us, please do. And Bomb Pop guy sent us another one. I think he was saying he shared the show with a bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a fun chain of folks that are now listening, kind of from him. I get a family tree.
Oh, wow.
Of people.
Thanks,
that listen
guys.
to it. Yeah, thanks for that. But let's do some other questions. Otherwise, Eddie, here's a question that says, "Hey Dan and Eddie, check it. I've always loved the pussy got wet bit, but I just remembered this story from a while back. Anyways, the wife sent me to the grocery store for cat food. She said the name of the cat food was Moist Kitty, and I knew the name of the food was Special Kitty, moist cat food. And we had a big laugh about Moist Kitty. I bought the cat food with a check, and while I was writing out the check, I wrote Moist Kitty on the memo line. Our checking account sends you pics of your processed checks. She saw where I wrote Moist Kitty on the check and thought it was fucking weird. I thought you'd appreciate that. Keep it up. Thanks so much. Pussy got wet. Pussy stay wet like Niagara Falls. And he signed it not right now.
Okay.
You wrote a check. Can we talk about a man in a pet store writing a check in the year 2018?
Yeah. Is this pet store an Amish pet store?
Seriously.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And why? I'm just dying to know. This came in anonymously, or I would have really liked to get in the back and forth with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still writing checks? And do you have a checkbook? You know, my mom for years meticulously kept a checkbook by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And even for years after she was finally online, she would still sort of like corroborate and cross-check.
Oh,
You know, this is mine versus, well, maybe Wells Fargo will make a math mistake.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to misadd a penny or something. So why are you still writing checks? But that is pretty funny that you wrote that in the memo.
Yeah.
And had a good time. So thank you for the note.
I
Otherwise,
think my wife would have the same reaction too. She's like, "You're fucking weird. What are you writing this shit for?"
people saw that.
Yeah.
People read that you wrote Moist Kitty. Yeah, write PGW.
There you go.
On all your checks.
Or do a pictogram of some sort.
Sure, why not? Please. This question says, "Hey Dan, is it weird that I just got the worst viper after visiting my grandma and her friends?" So a viper is when a man takes a piss and it comes shooting out of his dick in two directions like a tongue of a snake. And a lot of times it happens after a male gets an erection, and his precum, or more commonly precum, is, you know, when you get a boner. This blew my wife's mind, that when you get a boner, like little jizz is in there.
It's got, you got to lube it up, man.
Right. And that gets girls pregnant.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I don't know if these are wives' tales, but oh man, that pre-cum got her pregnant, dog. Did you hear about Gary? Fucking Gary's pre-cum got Elizabeth pregnant. And that terrified me. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like I can't even go in for a few pumps. Like you got to cover it up because you cannot get pregnant.
Yeah.
Not to me, not here. So anyhow, if a man gets a boner and the pre-cum stays there and it creates sort of a crystal covering over the penis, especially if you've got a big dick mouth like mine, it'll seal it shut. And then when you piss, it bursts out.
Yes.
Like lava out of a goddamn crater in Hawaii. Shoom, in two directions. I can't tell you how many times I've had to say, oh, shit, I got to clean my floor now. Just half the piss went in the toilet.
Yeah.
Half the piss just went in the wastebasket.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see it's happening, you got two options. One, you can push real hard. Oh God, try to blast it out. You know, like in Indiana Jones and I think Raiders of the Lost Ark, maybe, where they're first seen, there's like a raft and it comes shooting out of the mountain or something.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I like to think of when I'm taking a piss and I push through that viper. Boom!
So do you have like a little thing coming out of your dick too, like a little pebble or something?
No, God, no. Oh, I've never had a kidney stone or anything like that. Have you?
No, I haven't.
And that people say it's not passing it through your dick that hurts. It's passing it through your other stuff in your body. It's feeling that little stone in your kidneys move around. Because shooting at your dick, it's just like, zzz, like.
That doesn't hurt?
Well, I guess it's kind of like taking a shit, right? I mean, how big is this rock that comes out of your dick hole?
I think it depends, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any listeners that have had a bad one, send me a picture of your dick.
Yeah.
And then maybe tell us about your experiences, dude. Where are we going with this? Lord have mercy. Pre-cum. Viper. Push through.
Yeah.
Blast through. Oh, you have two options. You can blast through, or you can stop. Ooh. And you kind of like.
Yeah.
For guys, at least for me, and for my wife, because she's the only woman I've ever talked about pissing with. But for her, she can stop and go on a dime.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she's got those strong Kegels. I don't know. Maybe I don't. But for me, when I have to stop a hard, hot piss, damn it, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts real bad.
Yeah.
And it's not like a door that you just gently close. Like, I don't know what's happening in my body when I'm like, ooh, and I'm closing that window.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Is my body like pinching?
Yeah, you're pinching off the tip.
But how? It's not like I'm using my hand to do it. Like my internally, I'm
yeah,
shutting
obviously.
the valve.
But I mean, like your connection with your mind and your muscle down there
Right.
is not strong enough to realize that that little tiny tip,
Right.
or in my case, gigantic,
Right. Of course.
massive
huge.
tip,
Mhm.
gets pinched off. Like
Right.
I think you can't feel it happening.
Okay. Fine. I want to know more about this. There's a lot of times I have questions like this, and my wife especially gives me such a hard time. And she says, "Didn't you take any physiology classes in high school?" Nope. I was in band.
Does she know that?
She knows all these things about the body that she claims to have learned in high school.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't take any body classes, and I wish I would have. Man, why don't they have classes like that? How to plumb a sink, how to paint a room.
There should be like a life basics class.
home ec. I think it's supposed to be home ec.
Do they teach you how to like do taxes and like apply for a
No.
loan or some shit?
No, and they should.
Because that's the confusing. Like even now, man, when they're like, what name your dependents and all this shit, and I'm like,
Right.
well, you add the 1 and then this is a 0, and I'm like, I
Seriously.
don't fucking know what I'm doing.
For some people filling out their W-2, like you're saying, and the things you claim, they think, oh, God, look at all these little words on this paper. I'm supposed to read this?
I
don't
gotta go to this
understand.
section on the back
And
What?
do math? Like, what? And
Yeah.
You're right. It's confusing and scary. But you get a viper and you piss everywhere. I don't know what to tell you. Let's do another question here before we call it a night. Yo, Dan and Eddie, keep up the good work on the podcast. Oh, no, sorry. Yo, Dan, keep up the good work on the podcast. Now, as far as Eduardo goes, sorry, Joe Coy, but Eddie does a Filipino impersonation way better than you do.
Oh wow,
So that's like,
I'm honored. Thank you.
he's like the number one
Yeah.
Filipino comedian in the world.
Yeah,
And this listener is saying you do it better.
I appreciate that.
That would be like, I don't know. I mean, he's Filipino, and he's doing an impersonation, I guess, of like his parents and
Of his
people like
mom,
that.
because he's
Okay.
only half Filipino.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, half. Talking about my pure blood Filipino brother over here, Eddie, not some mud blood.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like we're gonna use a Harry Potter term here. God, that's terrible.
Fucking muggle,
Oh,
right? Is that?
He's a muggle.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like if we actually were famous and we did just call somebody a mudblood and no one knew that was actually just a term from Harry Potter?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
People
oh
would
my
think,
God.
yeah.
What is piece of shit? So anyhow, let me go on here. Also, take note, Dan, and you wonder why Eddie's dad is your listener's favorite guest. He makes us laugh with his goat eating jokes. Pussy got wet. Pussy stay wet. Love you, naughty boys. Now here I got worried. This is not a real person. Erica, and for your demographics, 38-year-old female, 34D, blonde and brown hair, Jewish American. Hurry back, Eddie's dad. Joe Coy ain't got shit on you.
Oh wow.
So
Fighting words,
yeah,
man.
she's into you. I mean, you got Erica. Did she say where she's from? Because I'll try to get you a postcard or something. But I thought that was funny. Okay, let's do Real Treat and get out of here.
Yeah.
And we'll call it a night. All right. How's everyone doing in the podcast room?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
No one's talking. Jerica, Jose, not like last time. All right. What am I doing here? Real treat. Anyone have a real treat in the chat room?
Let us know your real treat.
Let us know your real treat. Hashtag real treat.
Read it live on air.
All right, fuck it.
It's that time again. Come on. If it's Bailey's in your coffee or it's beating your meat, come on, Dan and Eddie, tell me what's a real treat.
Eddie, what's your real treat this week?
It's a dumb iPhone game.
Nice. I need a new iPhone game. What is it?
It's definitely not up your alley, I don't think.
No?
It's called Snowboard Party, and it's just a snowboard, like a snowboarding game. Like you go down half pipes, you do flips and tricks and shit.
Third person, side scroller.
Third person.
Third person. Okay.
Yeah. Like picture, like Tony Hawk, but snowboarding,
Okay.
basically.
Freemium, free to play,
Yeah.
gems, coins.
If freemium, yeah, free to play, I think.
Okay.
But it's one of those like you have a gas tank,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
you know, and
fun.
it takes one off every time you do like a
You
challenge.
die, and then you gotta wait.
And then you gotta
but
wait.
You can pay.
Exactly, like
and
that.
do you get a bonus for coming back every day?
Yes, yeah,
I mean,
I know.
those games, every one of them has the same characteristics.
Yeah.
There was this game called Hero Academy, and I loved it so much. It's an old school iOS game, and they made a second one of it, and they ruined it. They made
You
it.
sound so offended.
This was like chess. I loved this game so much. And then they completely changed the rules. They added cards, Hearthstone. They added gems, every game.
Yeah.
And daily rewards and all this. And I just wanted to cry and say, I would have paid you guys $20 for this game. And you didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do this. And maybe I'm to blame, Eddie. Maybe you're to blame.
I think
because
everyone's
we buy
to blame.
gems.
Yeah.
We buy loot boxes. And I don't really buy games like I used to either.
No.
So I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm Napstering video games right now by being a bitch and not spending any money. What's your fucking real treat?
Snowboard party.
That got me all
That's
mad
what it's
now.
called.
My real treat. Oh, you know, someone sent us in a real treat.
Okay.
You know, we get lots of real treats from people, and I love them all. This one I thought was fun, and it wanted to make me talk about the other thing.
Okay.
Here it is. Hey, I know you guys talk about drinking games. Have you ever played Roxanne?
Yes.
You played Roxanne?
For the Sting song?
The drinking game.
Yeah.
I didn't know this game existed.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
How was that like not part of your college experience?
All I played in college was Presidents and Assholes, Ring of Fire, that cup thing.
King's Cup?
King's Cup.
Flip Cup?
What one of those? Beer pong. I never played Roxanne.
Oh my God, man.
Well, if anyone else is like me,
Yeah.
I had to Google it. And it's when you play the song Roxanne
Mm-hmm.
by the Police, and usually it's two teams, guys versus girls apparently, and one team is Roxanne,
Mm-hmm.
one team is Red Light, and every time they say that, you drink. And
Yep.
that's the entire fucking game.
Yep.
It's 27 drinks
Yeah.
each person, which is probably a good 2 beers in
If you're
4
doing it
minutes.
right.
If you're doing it
Yeah,
right.
if you're being honest.
If you're being honest, just like with Power Hour.
Yeah.
I did play a lot of Power Hour. And Power Hour is you take a shot of beer every minute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not one college person who hasn't thought, "Huh, I could do that. Fuck a shot of beer.
Yeah.
One little shot of beer, 60 shots of beer. Ooh. Dude, it's like 4 beers.
No,
5,
it's 100 shots of beer. Because
100. Well, that's a century.
Oh, yeah, that's a century. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
Power Hour. I don't know what the math is.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of beer, nonstop, and you get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it always happens that way. And so, yeah, Roxanne. Play Roxanne. So he also says, or how about the game Jammin'? It's a drinking game where every time you hear the name of the song, you take a drink. It's pretty fun, you guys. You should try it out. So, Jammin', and I don't know if this is some long con to get me to listen to reggae music, but it's with jammin', doot doot, you know,
Yeah.
I wanna jammin' with you. It's a terrible song. But they
Awesome
say
song.
jammin' so much.
Yeah.
And then at the end they say,
We're
we're
jammin',
jammin',
we're
we're
jammin',
jammin'.
we're jammin', we're-
And you just gotta drink, drink, drink. And so that made me laugh, and it made me think, if you and I are together at some point, I'm sure we'll play one
Oh,
of these
yeah.
games. And our wives will say, oh, great, you're playing jamming. Like, so this is the other thing I was gonna share as part of my real treat. Eddie and I were at his house. It was a Saturday, and Eddie's beautiful, lovely wife is pregnant now.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't drink.
Nope.
And I don't care who you are, but if you enjoy drinking and then you can't do it for 9 months, it's going to be annoying
Yeah.
to be around drunk people all
Definitely.
the time. And your wife is still a saint.
Mm-hmm.
She never says a word. But I think over this weekend, she finally was like, all right. So you and I, who enjoy drinking together, we're together, and you say like, hey, you want to have a shot?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, of course. And I can just feel our wives like, oh, good.
Yeah. Because it was later on in the night. We've already drank a little bit. by then.
Sure. And then we were feeling excited
Yeah.
to have a shot. And you and I are vodka dudes.
Mhm.
That's the other thing too. If you'd said, hey, you want a shot of whiskey? I probably would have fallen down.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot drink whiskey. I'm such a baby.
Yeah.
I never drink it. And if I did, all of a sudden, I get way drunk on it. But vodka, I drink that all night long.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be out with people and they'll say, man, this drink's so strong. I can't even taste it.
Exactly. I'm the same way.
I don't know what to tell you. We're terrible, terrible lushes. But vodka's also so smooth and
Yeah. Like
tasty.
I'll often just get like a vodka rocks with like a lime. and
Absolutely.
good to go.
The other thing too is you and I have done diets where I think we can't drink sugar or carbs. So I think that's another way you get into vodka.
Yeah.
Because it's very sugar free. Anyways, you say, do you want a shot of vodka? I say, fuck yeah, dog. Let's get that. And you say, do you want to superb it? and you said it so casually. And I don't know if it's because you thought you'd told me what it was before, but you used it as if everybody knows what superbing is. And that's not true. You made that up.
Kind of. Yeah, my friend Dave, shout out to Dave, he made it up back in college where he would put a tiny splash of Coke in shots of Captain Morgan just to kind of take the edge off.
The drink.
Yes. Yeah, not actual cocaine.
Right. Not a shooter, not a mixed drink.
Just a little splash.
Just the taste.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of takes the edge off.
Right.
And that's the way we would do shots a lot when we were hanging out with him especially. And we would call him Dave Superbs. So anytime you put a little splash of something in there to take the edge off, it's called superbing it.
That's great.
Yeah.
First of all, using superb as a verb
Yes.
is tight. Like I feel like that could be in a Cardi B song.
Yeah.
And she'd be superb in it, and all of a sudden kids would say superbing things. You're onto something.
Yeah,
Or
I
he
think
is.
so.
Most good ideas are taken from somebody and just made better.
Yeah.
So we're just making superbing from Dave. We're giving him a platform.
Exactly. And we've tried to make it happen. Like when we went to bars like throughout college, just going, hey, can you superb it?
You
And
would
they were
say
like,
it.
What
and
is
they-
that? And then we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, oh, you just put a little splash of Coke on top.
See, that's what's funny about being a bartender is how many drinks do you hear where you can play it two ways. You ask the bartender for a drink and they don't know how to make it. They can make you feel stupid.
Yeah.
And say, I don't know what your dumb drink is. Whereas other bartenders, like I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't make somebody feel stupid for something that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That takes a certain personality trait to insult someone else because I'm embarrassed that I don't know something.
Yeah.
And so I would say, oh, I don't know what that is. Being embarrassed myself. And they could scoff at me because they are the kind of person that would make somebody feel bad. And now they're going to make me feel bad no matter what side of the equation we're on.
The other guy's a bartender.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and I love that you would go in there and try to sell it off like it was a real thing. So if next time you're at home and you drank a shot,
Yeah.
superb one for Eddie and I, you put a splash of 7-Up.
Yeah. Be careful though, because you'd throw them back super easy.
Super easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, superb. But my real treat actually, and I've been doing a lot of TV shows lately, but I don't think this TV show got nearly enough play or praise, is that Mindhunter show on Netflix. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in, but it took a minute to kick in. But man, now that it's kicked in,
Yeah.
whew, I love when a show does this, where you're almost skeptical at first.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know the characters' names. It's just kind of dude with the mustache. And,
Yeah.
oh, that lady with the hair, and you're not really sure. But then when it kicked in, it's great.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, and I think the other reason why it's kind of a weird name. Here's my pitch. Imagine like you're watching a TV show and there's like this overarching arc, but also each episode has a little bit of a thing that happens. It's cops. They're solving crimes. There's a bigger crime. Like nobody really knows what serial killers are yet. So it's all about the psychology of it. And it's one of these shows where two things. One, it glamorizes smoking. Man,
Oh my God,
does it
yeah.
glamorize smoking.
Yeah.
After watching this and Mad Men and Miss Maisel, smoking is part of the acting. Like they're using the cigarette as, they're blowing the fucking smoke
Yeah.
out. They throw that cigarette on the ground.
I wonder how many actors and actresses like get hooked on cigarettes because of a part they took where they had to play someone who smoked a lot, and then
Totally.
just for smoking every day for 3 to 6 months,
Right.
like you just pick up the habit.
I mean, does John Hamm, who played Don Draper, he has to smoke.
I think he does. Yeah.
He's gotta in real
Yeah.
life because he smoked on TV for 9 years. And I know, what are they like? They have no nicotine. They're stunt cigarettes. Motherfucker,
No,
you're still
yeah.
smoking. You
Exactly.
still are putting a piece of fire inches from your face, pulling oxygen through the fire
Yeah.
and making smoke into your lungs. And that's what you like. Smoking isn't just about the nicotine. It's about the feeling of a cigarette in your fingers.
Yeah.
The ritual of lighting it. You've got your shit. Not that I smoke cigarettes. I'm just assuming. I've got my own rituals for superbing, Eddie. But they smoke a lot, and it's two men talking in a car. Like, it's like a cop show.
Yeah.
And the cop guys are sort of, there's a hero's arc going on where they kind of don't like each other, and then they like each other, and now they got each other's back, and they're talking all the time in the car. Because I read that once, that men like talking in a car. Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to stare at each other.
Yeah.
We can look forward and just drive the car as we're driving. So it's a great show for that. Mindhunter on Netflix.
Check it out.
Do it.
Do you
okay?
know when season 2 comes out? Because
I don't know.
I hate that like you could just burn through a show and then you got to wait like a year
Mm-hmm.
for it to come back on.
It almost makes me sometimes. I've done this. I did it with The Crown. I let 2 load up.
Oh, okay.
And that's what's so great when you find a show and, oh my God, there's 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Babe, we got a project.
Yeah.
We are starting Sopranos, like in your case.
Yeah, I think we might start Sopranos.
Good luck.
But I mean, I feel like I need like a lighter show. Like every single show I like and that I watch regularly
Mm-hmm.
is like a dark or depressing show.
That's what, and Mindhunter is so dark.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
dark.
It's very depressing, and it's David Fincher who made Seven.
Yeah,
and
and it's based on like actual serial killers.
right, real serial
Yeah.
killers, and the actors in it. And it's one of these shows too where you can just look at like a picture because it's set in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So think about the set designer. Man, they had to find accurate cars, accurate clothing, cereal boxes. I mean, so much goes into a show like that.
Yeah.
The color of it feels like from the 70s. So anyhow,
Yeah.
anyways, it's a great show. Mindhunter. Check it out. All right, Eddie.
All right.
It's the end of the show, and this week from our friend Amanda Hug and Kiss, for our Sifstery, he grabbed a clip way back from episode 149, and it's called Foreskin. The song is Running by Jens East.
Okay.
All right. Otherwise, this has been Save for the Show with Dan and Eddie. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
All right.
Dude, my lips are so dry.
I know. Hey, guys. Oh, is BTK John G-Man? That was the killer dude that you used to work with. What's that guy's name? Oh, no, that was Green River Gary.
Oh.
Who's BTK?
It's a bind, torture, kill,
What's that?
right? Wasn't that he like a serial killer?
Oh, that was his nickname.
I think BTK killer is what I think
Jesus
they call him.
Christ. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out again. Of course, thank you for listening and watching. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Woo. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, and again, I will. Oh, he was in there. Okay. Thanks, Joshy, man. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, we'll throw the real episode up, the audio. Come check it out. Thanks.
See you guys.